I'm just, oh my goodness, I'm just beside myself right now. I know, I just, for those of you that haven't heard, that don't have internet connection or anything like that, Cody Rhodes has lost
Oh.
his opportunity because of what presumably is because of a streak, because we want to break the 1,000 days and, nobody else can do it. So we have to do this because we don't know if we're ever going to get a title run like this again. So this is it. Cody loses. It wasn't clean. Bunch of interference as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
And the tribal chief remains. Do we acknowledge him still?
Yes. Now it's our tribal chief still. Yes.
As a wrestling fan in 2023, I feel like it's just too much to ask for a heel to win clean. Just once. Just once. No goons. No nothing.
I will say this. There's certain times where I think a heel can win clean. This wasn't one.
Gunther proved it earlier tonight.
Right. But this ain't one of those times.
Okay.
Because had he beat Cody clean, I think that would have done damage. That would have done damage.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you pretty much gave him an out. He can always just be like, "Hey, I had you.
Right.
I had you dead to rights, and you needed him to save you." That's there it is. That's the story. That's the story now.
But do you think that's what we're going to play back into in Backlash?
Yeah.
So you think
he's not getting a title shot at Backlash? Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
see, that's what I'm saying, because a lot of people I've seen now are saying that Cody's going to win at Backlash, and I'm like, that just discounts the championship. I'm not losing I'm not winning my big title on a not Power 5 show.
If we were just gonna run it back at Backlash, then that's the point. Then Cody should have just won.
Right.
Then you do the rematch, but you don't do that yet. You save that for SummerSlam, and unless you know for sure you're not gonna get the Rock at 40, then you run it back at 40.
Come on, man. He's got to lose it in Detroit. He's got to.
No, he don't.
Who's he gonna wrestle in between? Nobody.
He can wrestle everybody.
He's already beaten everybody.
Roll him out again. There's a ton of people that he ain't beat yet.
I mean, let's run it with LA Knight for money.
Yeah, like you can do a LA Knight thing. You can give Rey Mysterio one last shot.
What about Lashley? What about Lashley?
You can run Lashley back if you want to.
I mean, I felt pissed for him.
I'll tell you another person that can run back. AJ Styles when he comes back. Run him back.
Like, that.
There's people you can run back. I just think everybody just like kind of got to chill, like he lost. Okay. Here's the thing that everybody keeps like ignoring.
Mm-hmm.
There really was no story.
I mean, he won the Royal Rumble. That was the story, right?
Ain't enough.
I think the story between him and Paul Heyman was a better story than what we got between him and Roman. The build, at least from those two.
But that's the problem. That ain't enough to knock off a 900-day reign. We need more.
Mm-hmm.
I think what hurt him is him getting hurt, because I think had he not gotten hurt, we would have had all those months to build the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think honestly and truly that was the plan. I really truly think Cody was meant to win tonight.
Right.
But because he got hurt, it kind of derailed everything, and you didn't get a chance to truly tell the story.
Right.
Like they never had, like, real talk, him and Roman didn't interact until after Elimination Chamber? It's like a month.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty express build. So maybe
there's like we chill, we take time, we build it for like 6 months. And then
so maybe at like Backlash, you think? Maybe Backlash we get like Sikoa versus Cody, just to kind of keep him invested.
Yeah.
Tell the story
that's the natural progression, I think. When he started beefing with Solo out the blue, actually, which didn't make sense at the time on that Raw, but here it is now. You just roll it with that.
Yeah.
Hell, at Backlash, do a 6-man. Do Cody, Sammy, and KO versus the Usos and Solo.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
because
save that for the, or save that for the next. Well, the next pay-per-view would be what, Money in the Bank after this, after Backlash.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Well, then we'll wait. We'll do it now because I might need Cody, and I don't know if I want Cody and Money in the Bank though. But
no way he wins on a cash in. That would just discount the whole thing about Dustin.
True, but you just have Cody get it and just be like, "I bet I'm cashing in at SummerSlam. This is my night. I'm gonna beat you at SummerSlam." And he knocks him off, or if you want to have some fun with it, have a heel win Money in the Bank like Gunther. Let Cody make it to SummerSlam, win the belt, and then let Gunther cash in on him and beat him. And now do the chase all over again. And then at WrestleMania 40, we get the foreign heel versus Homelander.
Well, that's what we've always wanted. Just deep down. I think that's what we've always wanted, you know? Like I just at a glance, I just thought that this was so obvious that there's no way they were gonna swerve us. And then of course they do, and I'm just like, bro, like you know what I mean? And I think that's just them being like, well, you got what you wanted on night one. Remember, y'all didn't want this, y'all wanted Sammy. And it's like, I think at this point, like, people just want him, people want Roman to lose. I mean, there's got to be a majority of people that want him to lose, right? Like,
but if he's your top heel, that's exactly what you want. You want them to want you to lose, so they'll keep tuning in to see who beats you.
But ain't it kind of, I don't know, ain't it kind of run its course now? I mean, it's 900 plus days. It's 3 WrestleManias in a row.
I mean, you can make a case for it. I think the biggest problem is just, for the first time in like probably his whole reign for real, Sammy and Cody's been the 2 biggest baby faces he's literally faced.
Right.
Everybody else has just been like middle of the road baby faces. These are the 2 big ones you faced.
Yeah.
But now it just feels like these should be the guys who beat you and start to carry the torch. But I just think when it comes with Cody, I really think Cody is the guy. Don't get it twisted. He's the guy. He is the one. He's the one that will dethrone Roman unless they get it in their head that I don't know, unless Jay White comes over and they think that's him, or Kenny Omega comes over. That's it. It had to be like Kenny comes over. That's the only person I can see other than Cody.
You don't think Punk Phillip comes over? And
they would never put that boy in that position. Hell no. He can catch that L at Survivor Series. It would never.
I think we're just setting up a big push for Detroit, and I think Cody's going to do it in SummerSlam. That gives us 4 months, you know, or well, less than 4 months now, because it's normally at the end of August. So gives us, you know, 3 to 4 months of this build, everything happening from there, and then he wins it, and it's still the second biggest show that they put on per year by their standards. Personally, I think Royal Rumble is the second, but you know, SummerSlam by itself is, you know, it is the biggest party in the summer. So for Cody to win it there, I'd be okay with. It had to have been one of the big 4. If it was Backlash, it just discounts it entirely, and that's not fair.
Right. Like, I get everybody wanting it to happen tonight. I get it. It's WrestleMania. It's the big thing and everything. I totally understand. It's just, the story just ain't been there. And now this adds a layer to his story and chasing the belt that, okay. Now we're getting into it. Because it's just, I've said this before, it just seems so easy so far for him.
Right.
Like, he came back at WrestleMania, beat Seth Rollins, kept beating Seth Rollins. He got hurt and still beat Seth Rollins. Took time off, came back to the Rumble, was what? Entrant 29 and 30.
He was number 30.
And it's just been chilling for the past. He's been coasting. He's cooling. Everybody he faces, he just beats them. It's like, this has been too fucking easy. Nah, something had to happen.
John Cena 2.0. John Cena 2.0.
This was it.
I mean, when you put it like that, when you run it all back like that, I'm okay with it because it's not as long as I thought originally. But at the same time, too, like, if I have to wait 3 more months roughly to get a new champion and continue to tell the stories and get these awesome promos with Cody and Paul Heyman and all this stuff,
Mhm.
I'm okay with it. I think we can suck it up for a little longer to get that sweet, sweet send off. But like at the same time, I won't deny that I'm not disappointed. And if it doesn't play out that way, I'm gonna be like, this kind of ruined Cody's trajectory because there's another multiverse where we go to and we see Cody Rhodes getting the IC championship or something and not getting the world title.
Right. Like, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Like,
that's gonna be the big tell, right?
That's gonna be the big tell. We'll see what happens tomorrow because he ends up challenging Gunford, and we know, damn. Well,
what'll be funny is the only reason that he lost is because he brought an AEW superstar to the show and sat him in the front row because technically -1 is on the roster page on AEW.com. Like, it's cool in theory. I wish that they would have said that was Luke Harper's son because they did, they mentioned that Luke Harper and John Huber are the same person, but like he didn't, they were just like, oh, this is a former WWE superstar or former wrestler's son, John Stuber. And I was like, or John Huber, I'm sorry. But like, I just like, to me, I'm like, damn, like just say Luke Harper or something. Like it's not gonna be disingenuous. Cause like, when you watch it with like casual fans that don't know who that is, you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, it's Luke Harper. And they're gonna be like, why didn't they just say that? And I'm like, yeah, well, it is what it is,
Yeah.
But I just okay, all right. I'm gonna just say this right now. Night two for me was not night one. How about that? In a bad way. Like
it had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It had a chance. Like after that Gunford match, I was like, it's special. And then the wrong person just started winning. It was like, well, fuck, okay.
Well, speaking of wrong people winning, to kind of jump off this, I want to get your immediate reaction. The Shane McMahon stuff is going to be interesting over the next week.
Oh my God, that was the greatest segment in the history of professional wrestling. Like I have seen some shit. I've seen Hulk Hogan go heel. I have seen Austin 316, Jericho's debut, the McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, HLA, everything. This by far was the fucking greatest segment. It was just so many highs and lows. Like, oh my God, like I don't know. I wish I could find out they actually planned that happened.
No way.
Oh my God, like
the thing that I found hilarious was that when we were, we have our little group message and stuff. When Shane comes out, you immediately text us and says greatest Wrestlemania ever. I'm like, okay, well, I blame the Edge match for why this wasn't, but going back to this, we have to give kudos to Snoop, bro. Snoop saved the day because this could have been crazy awful.
Right. Because it was already starting to get awkward.
Right, when he was running back and forth, not knowing what to do, I was like, "Oh no, Shane's actually hurt. Like this, he's pulling his daddy here. Like this is crazy." But like, kudos to everybody involved. Miz, the ref, Sean Ross Sapp actually called out the ref, shouted her out because she's the one that pitched on the fly, apparently to do the people's elbow.
Mm-hmm.
The finisher, and I was like, okay, like yeah, kudos to her for being prepped, kudos to Miz for being a professional, right. And Snoop Dogg for being just one of the most entertaining people on the planet. Like R.I.P. Shane, like we'll see you in the underground, but like that wasn't it for me. Like 2 nights in a row, you get Pat McAfee and Shane McMahon. I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I hope they do that now from every year from now on. Like, who's gonna come out and beat up Miz tonight?
Right, like that's a new street they should have right there.
Right, like like next year if Sting's no longer with AEW, it's him. He just pops up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This is cool. Oh my goodness. So, so I loved the pacing in the beginning because between the 2 matches, I actually have it up right here. Between the 2 matches, less than 15 minutes for both. Like combined, the total time that we spent was less than 15 minutes for Brock and the women's showcase tag match.
Good. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's exactly what it needs to be. Like,
Right.
that's exactly it. Like, we got a less than 5 minute Brock Lesnar match where he was getting beat up, sold. I think that an underrated part of his game, and I tweeted this out, is that Brock's actually one of the better sellers on the roster
Really is. Really
because
is.
he never has to do it. He can get away with not being like Dolph Ziggler, but he still does it, which is like crazy to me that he's that good at it. Omos, do you feel like Omos came off looking strong? I know like after the match was over, he was like that close, that close. I mean, you still lost one F5. Like,
I mean, I can live with it. It took Brock Lesnar to beat him. So that's why I can live with it. If it was somebody else, I'd probably be like, nah. But it was Brock, so I can live with it.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if Omos is going to be holding the title anytime soon, but if they just keep finding people that want to step up to the plate, like Braun Breaker would be a great opponent for Omos. He's that's his gimmick, right? He's big muscle guy, and that's what he's going to do. Same deal for like somebody like McIntyre, which we'll get into. Let's actually jump over to the second half of that 15 minutes. The women's tag team showcase match was probably the weakest of the weekend. I think that's fair to say.
Probably. Ain't no probably, bro. Like,
all right. I see. Yeah, that is the worst one of the weekend. When you look at who's involved, you really shouldn't be that surprised. But at the same time, too, I'm kind of like, I was reading reports earlier that Ronda actually turned down another WrestleMania plan to do this match with Shayna because they want to actually do this. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
She'll get the rub by proxy from, Shayna will. And honestly, they're not doing much. I think that's actually a logical next step for the women's tag team championships, which, that sells to me. Lita and Becky versus Shayna and Ronda. Yeah.
That should be the logical next step. Put the belts on them. And let's get them off Becky and Lita. Put it on Ronda and them, and just let them have a dominant reign.
Sure. Right. Let them have an Usos type run. Give them tag teams. Give them makeshift tag teams of stars that we love. And I think that you can get away with that for a few months.
Right.
Like, and then of course maybe come SummerSlam, that's when they'll drop them. But in the meantime, we can get some better work out of these two to kind of re-showcase why they're actually here, not just because they're badass women, but they get one on the mic or something. Like, I know Ronda's not the greatest promo ever. We've established that since the beginning, but maybe this will be her chance to kind of get showcased and actually work on it and give us some more time. What'd you think about her pulling like the Jericho Royal Rumble tactic of just like, I'm never going to be seen or involved at all. And then at the end, I'm going to get tagged in and we're going to win. Like,
I like it. It's an easy day of pay.
She got a WrestleMania check for just chilling on the side of the. What?
I can dig it. I would rock with it. For real. Like.
Look, kudos to them. I thought Liv and Raquel were the best in the ring, but Sonya Deville probably had the fit of the match, in my opinion. She had the fit, she was rocking it. Chelsea Green, I have no idea what they're doing with her. No idea. No clue. This isn't like hot mess Chelsea. This is just like, I'm happy to be here. Like,
she needed Carmella in this match. Her and Carmella work.
Her
and Carmella work. Like,
yeah, I think so. What'd you feel? I mean, Natalia's the door's got to be shut in there eventually, right? I mean, she's going to be almost at 15 WrestleManias in a row.
I mean, this her spot, this her role. Like, she ain't never gonna be back at the top.
Yeah, but her surgeon will be happy in the meantime. So
right, like she can chill here and do these type of matches, get a throwaway title match every now and then. She'll be okay.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, kind of regroup, and then we'll go into the remaining of the show. Yeah, man. So we got 1, 2, 3, 3.5 more matches because I got questions afterwards, but that's it. So we'll be out of here soon. But I just wanted to kind of at least put something together because I got something came up and I can't make it tomorrow. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, let's start. I'm gonna come back with Gunther, if that's cool.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to get to this one because this is my opinion, this was the best match of the night and second best from the show in my combining both nights. Second best for I know this was your favorite, it seemed from the beginning. I don't know if the main event kind of threw you off, but like
the main event is now my number one just for the ending alone. It
okay.
wins.
You just love pissing people off. I tell you.
Glorious. Everybody just has their panties in the bunch right now. Like when wrestling Twitter gets unified, it's a good thing. And they is unified in their shit. They hate what hate is mad.
Well, I'll tell you who else is mad. Irish and Scottish people, because he came out and did the damn job, dude. He came out, did the job, made Sheamus bleed out of his chest. This match was fucking awesome, dude.
My gosh, it was great.
Like,
I need this again. Let's do this again at Backlash.
back, just keep running it. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I just felt like, we hyped it up coming into the show. This was the best match of the night. So does that mean it lived up to it, or do you think they can actually surpass this?
Oh, I didn't expect it to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be good, but this was amazing.
Hey, I agree. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so yeah, we need to run this back. Hell, it is running back at SmackDown. Who cares? Like, the sooner the better.
You feel like Sheamus was the babyface in this?
Yes.
Like, not. I know it sounds silly at a glance, but like, if you were just watching this, like, you would imagine that Drew was a bad guy, Gunther was a bad guy, and Sheamus was the one, because it just seemed like every time he built momentum, the crowd fed into it more and more and more. And I think that's a good thing, because if this pays off the way that it should, in my opinion, now that Sheamus wins it down the line, there's the one to take it off of Gunther. Like, this was proved that to me, at least.
Yeah.
I think it showcased guys in the back that, like, hey, should be the way that we do it, especially because I've been reading rumors that McIntyre is not really happy with their contract negotiations right now. And I don't blame him. I think that he deserves a
he can go.
Nah,
he can go.
Come on, man.
Hey, he can go. They got a ring around the world title over there ready for him. Go right ahead.
Oh, dude, he was Mr. COVID. He saved the business. He was Mr. COVID. He saved their business. He carried them through.
He saved the business. You just held it down until for Roman. Roman saved the business. Roman has saved our business. Oh, we was almost out of business. Like Vince and them was almost out of business, and then Roman finally, for the past 3 years, record earnings, record profits is just. It's
amazing, right? Meanwhile, on Wednesday nights, they're trying. They're putting on really good shows. Just people don't tune in. People don't tune in. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know if I want part 2 of this. I just kind of want to see who's next. Like, because obviously I want Sheamus to be next, but like, if somebody else steps in to fight Gunther, I just want to keep seeing him wrestle. I don't really care who it's against. I don't care if it's for championships. Just, he's one of the best in the world, dude, for a reason. Let me tell you who else is one of the best in the world, though. Tennessee's own Bianca Belair, one of the most epic entrances that we've seen this show in WrestleMania history, I feel. I loved it. We had the step team come out. We had girl doing this like crazy like acrobatics, and I was like, "What the? No, this is too weird for me." Like that's like a great
shout out to that little girl, right? Because I learned on what do they call these? The press conferences afterwards.
Yeah, like the scrums.
Triple H said that her mother passed away today. So shout out to that little girl, right? Because that like ain't no way I would have been out there.
No way.
No way. So dude, shout out to her. Prayers to her, because that's big time.
I'm glad they told Triple H that, and not Vince, because Vince would have absolutely been like, "Well, Bianca's got to lose now."
Damn. Wait. Well, damn. That's all it was gonna take.
I'm just saying, dude. Like, first of all, this match was no Rhea Charlotte by any means, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. Like, Asuka was doing stuff that I didn't think that we would see for a little bit longer, honestly, and that was fucking with her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Asuka was pulling on it, and then at one point to kind of like get out of a submission, like she like dragged. I thought she was gonna pull it. I didn't know what to believe. I was like, yo, if Asuka's the one to cut it, that's a choice.
Right. Right. Hey, I like how the crowd started to turn on Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that because now maybe we can start the wheels turning on a heel turn for her.
Right. And they have some faces on the roster that would be fine to have. Like, I feel like there's a story there with maybe like Candace or something, like somebody that people can get behind and have gotten behind in the past.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing her and Becky do it again with the roles reversed.
Sure.
With Becky is the face and her is the heel. I was like that. I wouldn't like. Could you imagine her being a heel now? Her and Bailey on the same side. I could live with that.
Yeah, that's also a move I love. I just like the possibilities around here are endless, I think. And then of course, like they have women waiting in the wings down in NXT as well. Like, you know, I'm just saying, like, if there was any time to kind of like start planting the seeds for Bianca's heel run, this would be it. But she kind of falls in that Roman category where it's like, yeah, but when they finally do turn heel, like people are going to talk about it.
Right.
And
like,
I think
I wouldn't mind,
no,
like I wouldn't mind a Roxanne call up.
Sure, if she's healthy enough, let's do it.
Throw the title on her. Like, let's do this. Let's.
Honestly, I wouldn't blame you. She's one of the bigger baby faces in the company.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And she reps Booker T. So like, like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm excited for the Raw Women's Picture, but I was not super thrilled with this match. I mean, it was a fine match. This could have main evented like Fastlane or something, but like this, like, I guess we got spoiled last night. That's kind of where I am, and that's how it goes. But
yeah, I think like the match started off slow. It was almost like, okay, they was really trying to feel each other out. It don't feel like they were really on the same page. But towards the end, it like, okay.
Yeah. When she was trying to hit the KOD and missed the mist, but yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, like that sequence right there was amazing. Into the armbar, oh, that was amazing. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Like it got people in the house that I was watching in, got people pretty pumped. They were like, don't tap, which is the reaction that you want. But it also had the displeasure, not only not being Rhea and Charlotte, but also being after the Gunther Intercontinental match too. So it is what it is. It was a come down, unfortunately for them, but it was the right call, I think, to keep Bianca as the champion. Like, I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see it because it was kind of like a spontaneous build with Asuka.
That's true. That's true. But I think that if you're going to switch Asuka and give her this new personality in this new thing, go ahead and just let her win. Let her beat it. She ain't got to hold the title forever. But let her get the win. Then let it maybe unlock a different side of Bianca, where it's like, okay, now she realized I got to be a little more aggressive. I gotta fight. I gotta get down and dirty a little bit more.
Right.
So then the rematch happens, and then she can go ahead and knock her off, and then move on, and hopefully they got another girl built up in time. I don't know who's next. Like I guess we might do an Asuka again, but
I mean, there's got to be somebody that's going to kick out of the mist, right?
But kick out of what?
I said there's got to be somebody that'll kick out of the mist. You know what I mean? And so if that's Bianca, that's great. But I don't want to see this again at Backlash just so her, you know what I mean? Just so she can kick out of the mist. Like, that's dumb. Like, it doesn't have to be her. Like, Asuka could go to SmackDown and wrestle Rhea, and Rhea's the first one to kick out or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but then that just means we get Bianca Charlotte. They'll just throw Charlotte over here, and I don't know if I want that. Like,
yeah, I don't know what Charlotte's gonna do now. I mean, that felt like a send off to me. So, like last night, like I felt like she could come in on Monday Night Raw and be like, "I'm out tomorrow," and I wouldn't blame her. I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think she wants to tie her dad, but she's only 2 title runs away.
That's true. That's true.
Which is crazy to think about, but yeah. Like they wasted zero time. Let me tell you. Let me tell you who wasted a lot of time though. Edge and the fucking Demon.
No, you mean Edge and them fucking referees? Like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, I'm gonna need them to like figure out this blood situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it was a for those that didn't see it, whatever. I got you. There was a stoppage after a spot in the match where Edge threw the ladder at the Demon, and the ref came down and saw that he was actually bleeding, and they stopped. They did a blood stoppage, and Edge, kudos to Edge, and I tweeted this out. While he was down, he was prepping everything for the end of the match because he was like, "There's no way we're not finishing this." But while we're doing this, I'm just going to build it so we can get the spots done quickly, which signals to me two things. One, they were going to use all of the time allotted. Their match ended up being 18 minutes, and I'm just saying, like, if it wasn't for this blood stoppage, I really feel like we probably would have gotten a 20, 22, 23-minute match out of this. But I thought it was a better ending that way because you know how edges are, bro. They just drag sometimes.
Right.
And I'm not a big Demon guy anyway. I think that sometimes like this thing because it's weird to me because when it comes to the Demon, right? He's the all-encompassing. He's a no-sell machine. He doesn't take damage. He's just invincible. He just wants to wrestle and fuck you up. But he's not even the leader of his own faction, or at least I feel like he's losing the grip of that, and it's slowly becoming Rhea's faction and Dominic's faction.
Hence why he should have won.
Right.
I think he needed this win more than Edge.
Oh, I agree 100%. And that's kind of where I was going with this is like, you're telling me that this guy whose big thing was, you know, I have this in me that I can unleash and win whenever I need it. This kind of like anger, this energy. And he loses to Edge, who's, you know, well over 40. And he's now lost every big match he's had on pay-per-view. Like, whether it was against Edge in the mixed tag or at Royal Rumble, I mean, he just doesn't fucking win. So why would he be the leader anymore?
Good point.
We just hoed out the Demon. Like, just think about that. We hoed out the Demon, and for what? Is Edge the next one up for Roman again? Like, we've seen it.
Oh dear. Don't let that be the thing.
Right. But it's like, at this point, going off of what we know about wrestling math, he has the biggest win on the roster that's not holding a championship, unless you want to do Brock.
Right.
And I don't want to see that again. We've seen Brock versus Roman 5 times.
No, can't do that again either. Nope.
Like, you know, there's nobody really in the wheel well. I mean, I know that, you know, we always talk about The Rock and shit, but like, come on, give me a break. I just, at this point, I think WWE needs to figure out what they want to do with these stipulation matches, because if they don't want to be blood and guts that badly, then don't fucking do these kind of matches anymore.
Well, I'll give them this. Maybe the cut was really bad.
I mean, well,
because we don't really know, because you couldn't even really see the cut, but maybe they thought, oh, this may be a little bit bad. Let's get this taken care of, or he's just bleeding everywhere.
well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was, and they couldn't. Maybe the cut really wasn't bad, but they couldn't judge it because of the face paint. Right. You know, because it's a combination of like red, black, purple, and white. Like
exactly.
And like, I didn't know what Edge was doing in that entrance too. By the way. That like disco Daft Punk skeleton thing. I was like, bro, what?
That was fire. They got to put that in the game. I already got a thought in mind, man. Oh man, they got to put that in the game.
That's hilarious, dude. Jesus Christ. Like, I just couldn't get into it. I'm not a Demon guy, but now especially more, I'm not. Oh shit, maybe I am. Oh my God. CJ just sent us the cut. That's bad. It's funny that he did that, but this is sense. I'm gonna show it up, see if y'all can see it here on YouTube. But Dude, yeah, he's got a bunch of staples in his head, and it's a gash, like something you would see at like
Oh
Hollow
wow.
Screen or something. Jesus. I don't even know. He must have cut it on the rope coming down from the ladder hit. Like
Yeah.
when the ladder, his head swung back, and maybe he cut it on the actual rope. Maybe there was some
Right.
exposed wire or something. Kudos to him for keeping going, dude. That's crazy. Call me a wimp or whatever, but like, I would have tapped out on this one. I would have been like, I'm out. My brain's showing.
Over, y'all. Good night.
This shit is ugly. Oh my god. It's fucking nutty. Yeah, man, I was just shitting on him too. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. Whatever. The result was the same. The result was the same regardless. Like that shit is whack. That is so whack. I don't know what happens with Edge going forward. Maybe he's Austin Theory's his next opponent. But that kind of, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, Edge will give him a better match.
Right.
So I'm
yeah. You're telling me it's a tough one to watch. But now with Balor, I think it's all just going to be about what's going on SmackDown, and he's just going to slide in and be there as backup for Puerto Rico, all this kind of stuff, which is fine, I guess. I don't, when it comes to Finn Balor, we're kind of indifferent, and I think that's where we are now because of booking.
Right.
And is injury prone. But god damn. Okay, so WrestleMania 39. I have these questions for you.
Okay.
If you could would you redo the card if you could?
Redo it how?
So when I wrote the question originally, I was saying in terms of like order for each night. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it, like would you have taken matches off and kind of like made, replacement ones?
Oh, wholeheartedly, yes.
Okay. I figured that would be the thing because you're big tinfoil hat guy.
I'll say this. I would probably switch Charlotte and Rhea to night 2.
Really?
And put Bianca Asuka night 1. I would probably do that to give them a bigger, because let's face it, night 2 was kind of like, until you got to like the Gunther match and then everything. I probably would switch those maybe because I think the Charlotte Rhea match would have held its own better.
Yeah.
After Gunther than Bianca did. I probably could have did okay. As much as I think it's the greatest segment of all time, I probably would take it all.
You could replace him with another mystery opponent if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I probably would have did. I honestly would have just had Austin Theory come out there and be like, hey, who won a match? Or I would have had Bobby Lashley come out there and be like, yo, I want a match at WrestleMania.
I felt like that was one of the weirder segments of the night. It was when they were like, our Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner of the year. And like, he didn't even know if he was supposed to bring the trophy to the center of the ring or what he was supposed to be doing there. And I hope he got a WrestleMania check because fuck that. If he didn't, he was supposed to have a match. You know what I mean? He was supposed to have a whole ass match and he got taken away because of Bray Wyatt and his personal issues. And of course, we wish him the best, but I just can't believe they couldn't come up with a better idea for Bobby.
Right. Oh, and we got no LA Knight on the whole show.
Right. And that's like his whole name.
Right.
Right.
Now, I'm sure he's going to get something tomorrow night because I think they're still in LA. So I'm sure he's going to get something tomorrow night. But it's like, I would have put them in a segment or something.
Sure. I would have them just fucking wrestle. Like, I don't know. Me, I would have been like, here's this. And then the winner gets, first dibs on either the US or Intercontinental Championship contendership. Something easy. And then that's your main event on Friday.
There you go.
that's like him just showing up though and being awkward. I was like, dude, this sucks. He's like the Dominator. Like he's a former WWE champion. Like, and he's coming out here with this trophy, and ain't nobody done anything when they win this trophy. I mean, look at Strowman. He was like, when he won the trophy, I was like, all right, great, maybe this will kick something off, and then it never did. It never did
at all for nobody.
I think he won the Universal title once, but like
He did.
But I'm just saying, like, I feel like in the back they feel that way too, where it's like, damn, I'm in the Andre, huh? Like, I'm glad they got rid of the women's one though. Like, this is just me being honest, because well, A, the trophy was provocative as hell, and two, like, it's just one more thing for you to stress over in book, and like nothing really happens to the winner.
Right.
You know, I mean, we got some funny stuff in the build. Like people were making fun of Elias and stuff, but like we could do that other ways if you wanted to.
Right.
All right, another question. So second question, in terms of this WrestleMania, would you say this is a top 10 Mania?
Top 10, yeah.
Okay. Now, what about 5? What about 5? It's crazy how 5 numbers make it a little bit more difficult to say.
I will say yes.
For recency bias sake, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, is it a top 5? Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you the same question.
Despite the winners and stuff, just total matches and everything. Yeah, it is. Like,
it's one of the best presentations I've ever seen in terms of WrestleMania, which I credit a lot to the fact to different creatives and stuff like that. But I can't, like, this felt like a big show. I messaged you guys when Cody came out and I said AEW could never pull off a show this scale.
Right.
Where you have a combined attendance of over 160,000 people. Like, I couldn't imagine them on that kind of scale ever. Exactly. That's sad. It's super sad. But like, you watch an entrance like that, and I think that was one of the big reasons why Cody came over, because he just was like, yeah, like WrestleMania is the echelon of everything. It is the show of shows. Yeah. And I think that after watching what we saw in terms of the presentations and saw these super extravagant entrances, Roman's entrance was 7 minutes, over 7 minutes long. Crazy. But I think that somebody like a Kenny Omega, a Jay White, Hangman Page when the time comes, maybe even Okada, I don't know. But like, you see these dudes that are like at home in other companies and they watch a show like this, there has to be some kind of rub off effect where it's like, yeah, I could totally do that and have that same kind of thing. I mean, could you imagine?
Some of them, I think, well, I'll say this, like, I don't think Kenny cares because he's been in he's done Tokyo Dome.
Right. Okada's probably in the same category.
I think like a Page or something, yeah, like a Page or MJF or somebody like that, yeah, it hits differently. Like Kenny, Jericho, they've been here, done that. They've been at the Tokyo Dome. So 80,000 is nothing to them. But for like the younger guys, and those are the ones that they should be trying to get after, they're seeing this stuff. And I guarantee you some of them was in the crowd. I guarantee you some of them, just sitting there and being in the atmosphere. It's like, there's a part of you that got to be like, I want to wrestle here one day. I want to be a part of this one day. Like,
and that's when Sting's got to come in and be like, hey, old boy, like, I didn't go and my life's turned out just fine. But like,
I'd be looking at him like, oh, nigga, you know how much money you left on the table? Nah. I am not about to be you. Nope, I'm going tomorrow. I'm out. Like,
could you imagine if that ever actually
too much money, right? Sting, you should have been the Ultimate Warrior, and you weren't. You should have been the Warrior. That should have been you.
Sting versus Hogan. Sting versus Hogan in WWE would have been crazy. That's all.
Yeah, like I fully believe that wholeheartedly. Like, Sting should have been in the Warrior spot, because I think the WWE would have been so much different the world of wrestling would have been different. Like,
oh, totally
crazy. But yeah, he should have been in his spot. Like, and not coming over bullshit. See what they got you. Damn, see what they got you.
He got his match against he got his WrestleMania match, but it wasn't fucking awesome. I'll tell you that much.
The fuck out of here. Like, I should have got Sting Undertaker at like WrestleMania 7.
Dead ass.
Like, I got it in. Like,
dude, they gave us Triple H versus Triple H or Triple H versus Undertaker like what, twice? They gave us Shawn Michaels Undertaker twice.
Right, like
Cena Undertaker until 2020s. But like there were people that he wrestled throughout that thing. Like he wrestled Big Daddy V at one point. You know what I mean? Like we could have replaced him with Sting, I feel like.
Right. Something. Hell, they could have replaced him with Steve Blackman. It still would have been better. Like that shit. Like, oh my god. Like,
Chavo, baby. Give Chavo the chance.
Like, you know, real talk, like, not to get off subject, but we hold the Undertaker streak in such reverence.
Right.
But when you really look at it, that streak's some bullshit. Because for that first, like, 10 years, he beat nobody.
And he beat not the Minotaur. Or what was his fucking?
He beat, like, Giant Gonzalez and Viscera and Psycho Sid and all this shit. He ain't had a good matches until he got old. So, like...
Come on, man. I'm still in the camp, actually, on the topic of The Undertaker. I'm still in the camp that Taker should have lost to CM Punk, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a hill you can down by yourself on that one.
No, that's totally fine. I just felt like, there were legs there, and if he was ever going to be the big main event, like, stay with it.
Punk, you know what? Maybe Punk stays if he does that. Who knows?
I bet he does. Because guess what? That would have been a bigger WrestleMania moment than you fucking losing to The Rock.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I gotta like it's just so bro, frustrating. It's just so let's see here. So Mania record. Okay. I'm just seeing like who he fought in the beginning. So he wrestled, the streak started in 1991. He wrestled Jimmy Snuka, Jake Roberts, Giant Gonzalez, King Kong, Diesel, Psycho Sid, Kane, Big Boss Man.
This is trash. Keep going.
Triple H at WrestleMania X7.
That's when it started. That was the first good one. Go ahead.
You didn't care about Kane in 1998 at 14. That was
that was a good one. That one was a good one. But then who was after that?
Big Boss Man was in between him and Triple H.
Right. Exactly. Bullshit.
That was in Hell in a Cell. I think wasn't that the match where he tried to kill him? Like where he almost
right. Bullshit.
That's fucking crazy. Oh, here you go. A-Train and Big Show.
That was bullshit.
Flair.
Okay, then that was good. Okay. That was good.
That was in Toronto. So
that was a good one. That was a fucking good one.
Kane again in MS for WrestleMania 20.
Yeah.
Randy Orton for the first time in Hell in a Cell, right?
It starts to get better. Like now is when the streak really starts to get actually good. They're good matches.
Mark Henry, then Batista. Edge, and then the two Shawn Michaelses, and then Triple H twice, and then CM Punk was the last one before Brock Lesnar broke it.
Yeah. It's that second half of the streak that's good. That first half,
come on, man. You're telling me that Diesel wasn't over enough?
Bitch, you go watch the match.
You know why this match was bad? I can already tell why this match was bad. It's clocked in at 16 minutes and 46 seconds, which is just 10 minutes too long.
Exactly.
He beat Giant Gonzalez by disqualification. Let that sink in.
Right, like y'all complain about stuff now, boy. Y'all did not. I can only imagine social media back in the 90s. Man. boy, y'all like real talk. Y'all mad about Cody now? You should have seen us at WrestleMania 9. We were, boy. I could only imagine social media back then, boy. That would have been crazy. Like,
oh my god.
Or WrestleMania 8. I can hear everybody on the internet. Why is Hogan main eventing? Why the world title not main eventing? Blah blah blah. I can feel it. Like, oh my goodness. Like,
come on, bro. This is hilarious. Look at the cover. Look, first of all,
like real talk.
One of those matches, Hulk Hogan beat Sid Justice, and that was your main event. And that was 18 minutes. You had Randy Savage and Ric Flair earlier in the show. 25 minutes. That should have been the main event. I don't care. That was for the actual title. That was for the actual.
Yeah, that shit was banging.
Hulk Hogan Sid Justice was just because Hogan. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was because it was a grudge match. Oh my god. Like Psycho Sid, like Sid cost Hogan the belt at the Royal Rumble. That's the only reason Flair even won the belt. He was mad. And then, right, when they was about to decide who's the number one contender, because back then we didn't have number one contender matches. We had a commissioner. He just said, I pick you. So that's it.
Said, Mighty Mo.
So he picked Hogan, which further made Sid mad. And then that was it. And now we got a match.
Don't you just miss when dudes?
And then it had to be in the main event because that was the Ultimate Warrior comeback. So the main event, which was low key like one of the greatest WrestleMania moments ever when the Warrior came back at WrestleMania 8. So we had to put in the main event for it to happen. You know, like
it only makes sense because you can't have surprise returns.
But we had social media back then, boy. Y'all would have killed that shit. Y'all would have killed that. Like, man, like kids for real, like kids today, y'all think like WWE, AEW was something. Man, to be in the WWE versus WCW war, like we truly needed social media back then. Because y'all would have been out y'all fucking minds. Like, I can see it. Like, y'all complain about the bloodline. Oh, y'all never looked at the NWO. Like,
you mean Bret Hart's best faction of all time?
Boy, like Hulk Hogan winning everything with interference. Oh, bitch, like y'all ain't seen nothing. Like, y'all ain't seen nothing. This is tame.
You thought Solo was the only one? Come on.
That, like, y'all only got to worry about 3 people. Try worrying about 15.
Right. Try worrying about, and not even just nobody's neither, like Razor Ramon and shit. Like,
yeah, shit. You got to look over your shoulder and see if Dennis Rodman of all people about to fuck you up. Like,
dude, oh my gosh. I still can't, but I will never forgive Russo and company for letting Bret Hart letting him join the NWO. Stupid. When he came over, he should have been thwarting them. That's what he should have been doing. But whatever. Sting had to do it, and that took forever. Before we leave this, the longest Undertaker match.
You too. All right.
The longest Undertaker match of all time at WrestleMania was 30 minutes and 50 seconds, and that was against Triple H the second time at WrestleMania 28.
I believe it because that shit was drawn out as hell.
That was their Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, with Shawn as the special referee. Yep. Like,
that was that bullshit.
The so-called end of an era. The end of an era, like
the click 2.0 send off at the end.
Right. Like
the crazy part is like Triple H is so petty that this match is 6 seconds longer than than Shawn Michaels and Undertaker number 1. Arguably the better of the two. But like that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Last one for you. I left thinking because of the going back to kind of what we were talking about with Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have been happy if Bray Wyatt was on this card?
No.
Okay.
I'm low key happy because I feel like that match would have been some bullshit anyway.
It would have been like, yeah,
This
it would have been like
whole thing would have been
stickers. Yeah, it would have been like a TurboTax sponsors this insect match. And you're like, what the? Okay.
TurboTax brings you the tables match. Like,
I'm like, okay, like, I guess.
right, like I'm good. Like after the first interaction with him and Uncle Howdy and all that shit, I was already like, this thing don't go well, bro. Like,
It's the scary movie effect, man. It's the scary movie effect.
That shit don't work. Like, I see why Brock said nope. I don't want no person.
That shit is crazy.
He ain't built for stuff like that. Like his persona don't need to be in no goofy ass shit like this. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're one of the big beefy guys, like don't Bray Wyatt's gonna kill you. Like Bray Wyatt should be torturing the mid card guys.
right.
Like that kind of like psychic warfare. Like that's why it worked so well with LA Knight. Not only was he willing to do it, like it's more believable. Meanwhile, like with dudes like Brock or even when Roman beat the Fiend, I was like, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. He's Roman Reigns. He's a superhero.
Well, so do you think we're gonna break these belts up? Because at this point,
I don't know. I think that's another one of the many questions we have that could be solved either tomorrow or Friday.
Oh, what if they broke the belts up and then? Well, okay, let me ask this question. Let's say they break the belts up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Cody won the belt that way,
that would be so disingenuous. Are you serious? That would be a slap in the face. But you got the heavyweight championship. Like you don't get you're not the universal champion. You did it. You got the belt your dad never did.
Right, yeah.
He's like, yeah, thanks. I didn't beat Roman at WrestleMania. I won a tournament for it on the Raw after.
I mean,
like, yeah, I pinned Otis to get it, so thanks.
You're welcome, you know. Tournaments are great. Like,
I did kind of was like, damn, Cody, like you're really just gonna hold your kid like right now? Just dragging it out that way?
Man, I knew something was up when they zoomed in and he's holding his baby and he's waving to the crowd. I was like, oh nah, he about to lose because they're doing too much. Like they doing the most right now. We didn't need all that.
No, yeah, we definitely didn't need all that.
They were pushing that real thick, like
he's a family man.
The great baby face, the great father. Look at him hugging his baby. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's when we knew.
Shit happens. That means you're taking an L, my boy. You got to take that L. Like
he's like, enjoy the daddy time while you got it, because
right.
you're losing at the end of the day. Golly, dude, that would be the worst. Oh, what was I gonna say? I had something else planned. I didn't have something else planned.
It was really epic. Like I can't even front. Like,
come on, man. This wasn't. That main event was awesome. It really was. It was super electric.
Crazy? You know what this reminds me of, honestly and truly?
What is it?
WrestleMania X7.
No way.
It reminds me of that, even down to the ending, because we hated the fact that Austin aligned with McMahon. We hated that shit.
All right, that was your hero.
Right, and everybody said from that moment on, that fucked up Austin.
Right, he never
to a point that it was hard for him to get back to. It's what time gonna see if we're gonna say the same thing about Cody Rhodes in about 6 months. Because that's the vibes it gives me. Like this was low key. This was really a great Mania,
right?
With an ending that just leaves everybody like, wait, what the fuck?
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
Like, and now in this like they turned their biggest babyface heel. We just had our biggest babyface lose. Like,
you know what I think? You know what I think? And I was gonna ask you this. This was that I remember what I was gonna ask you. Do you think it'll take the Lex Express to get Cody Rhodes his championship?
oh,
With this American aesthetic, what do you think?
let's not go that far. That shit didn't work for Luger either. Let's remember that shit. It did not work. Like, real talk, I was on Instagram earlier and somebody had posted a video of the time where they shot a segment with Luger as the world champion.
Oh my God. What? I never heard that.
Like a legit at a house show. They filmed it because they were planning on Luger winning the belt. And they shot it and they shot it. And it was like the crowd was just like, yay. It was crazy. That ruined it. Right. But it's like to see that and then it's like, huh. I hope they didn't do no Cody videos with be like, oh shit, that's fucked up.
That was solid. Are you serious?
Man, like,
that's crazy.
But you know what's crazy? At least Luger won his title match. He just didn't get the belt. Like, at least he won. Like, I was like, is it sick of me that I was hoping they were gonna do like a dusty finish? I was so hoping when Solo came back out, the referee would have saw him and be like, you know what? Fuck this, DQ.
Right. It's over. You're done.
Like, yeah, you win, but you're not getting the belt. Oh right. Man, I would have paid so much money for that because y'all would have truly melted things. This man went by DQ. Oh boy.
Man. Like, look, I'm just saying, like, overall, I thought this Mania was great. I really did. I was sports entertained thoroughly for the majority of the show, and that's all I really want at the end of the day. I think that's all what we all want at the end of the day. But I mean, Monday's gonna be telling us a lot more. I feel like we're not done with the Dominic thing. We've established that. Cody's gotta find a way to redeem himself. But you know what I'm saying? So we'll find out. Javon, I appreciate you hopping on with me for this quick little thing and stuff. I'll let you get going. But thank you for helping out. And of course, we'll be seeing you on the next one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because Monday night gonna be crazy. The hell that's gonna break loose for 3 hours.
Jay White coming in. I'm telling you, I feel it.
Oh man, if he could, man, what if he had shown up at WrestleMania? Like,
that would have been cool for us, but I don't know. I don't know if he's there yet. So, but anyway, man, like I said, thank you so much for coming on and everything. And I don't know if we're recording on Thursday, but we'll be back at least within the next few days, like 10 days or so.
Oh, good. That gives us time for the whole world to evaporate and to see what's going to happen.
Right.
Oh man, how does Tony Khan combat this? I want to hear what this announcement is. This better be good.
Well, depending on what the announcement is, we might record on Thursday. I don't know. Like, it's in Tony's hands.
Yeah, like I forgot this Dynamite's gonna be a big one too, because this is the one with FTR challenge for the titles, right? Yeah, so we get to see what's happening with them. Because if they lose, they supposed to leave AEW. Let's see if that happens.
I mean, I don't know. Dax did just tweet about CM Punk again, so who knows?
Man, just suck his dick already. Goddamn. Like, if he's in love with CM Punk, I mean, like, I get being in love with Bret Hart because I saw the picture with him and Bret. I get that. I mean, it's Bret Hart.
Right. Well,
shout out to Bret, his black wife. He's forever invited to the cookout.
As if that was a question before. Like, come on now. Bret Hart coming through. We gotta go,
Right.
But anyways, thank you so much again. was a lot of fun as always, but I'm going to bed.